HOA rerouted the water line for community use.
That line feeds my well! You didn't have permission!
I found out because my tap sputtered. Not fully dry, just enough to feel wrong. The pressure dropped in the middle of the afternoon, the same time it never drops. I checked the pump, then the breaker, then the gauge. Everything was normal. The land wasn't. At the edge of my property, the soil looked freshly disturbed. A narrow trench ran along the fence line, backfilled too neatly to be accidental. No warning tape, no notice, just work done quietly. When I asked the HOA, they spoke carefully. They said they'd upgraded the community water system. They said a temporary diversion was needed. They said it wouldn't affect private sources. It already had. My well isn't decorative. It's old, mapped, and shared by agreement with 2 neighboring homes downhill during drought months. My father documented it because he'd lived through years when water trucks were the difference between staying and leaving. The HOA said their contractor didn't see any records. I asked which records they checked. They said the city's. The next morning, pressure dropped again, enough to slow irrigation, enough to put the orchard at risk if it continued. Neighbors asked if my pump was failing. I told them no, pumps fail loudly. This was quiet. I went back to the trench and noticed a valve cap I didn't recognize. New, shiny, installed to look permanent. Someone had tied into my feeder line and redirected flow toward the new community tank uphill. No permission, no easement, no notice. I pulled out my father's binder, hand-drawn maps, depth notes, and a county filing that required written consent for any tie-in to the well line. The HOA had none. I didn't argue. I called the county water office and asked a simple question. Can an HOA divert a private well without an easement? They arrived before noon. Meters were checked, valves traced, photos taken. The diversion was shut off on the spot. A notice went up ordering restoration and monitoring. The HOA emailed later calling it a miscommunication. The water came back that evening. Water does that. It finds its level when you stop forcing it.